Hey there, First United Methodist Church of Lawrenceville. We are back with our story, and today we're going to have a conversation with Russ and Laura Drake. So I want to let you guys take it away. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell everybody how you found yourself here at First United Methodist Church of Lawrenceville.
My name is Russell Drake.
Oh, and I'm Laura Drake.
And she's the talker of the two of us mainly. I'll let her kind of give a start to this.
Okay, well, we were just talking. I believe we came here in 1999. We had moved out to Gwinnett from DeKalb, and we were looking for a church home. Prior to that, it's not like we were literally transferring from somewhere. We really kind of went to church when it was convenient. And so it wasn't a big part of our lives, but we had Austin. Right. At that point, he was, I guess, 2. When we started, we visited all over the place. We actually live in Snellville, and we visited and we visited. We came here, and it felt right.
And it was kind of a long drive, but there's just something about it that felt right. Mm-hmm.
So we came back, and then we joined. But that's what I was going to say, too. You know, knowing who we were at the time and what our goals were for going to church, it's just so odd to look back. It's so different from how we live our lives now. But the Lord knew where we would find him, and the Lord knew how he could grow us here. And so we're just so grateful for that.
Well, talk about that a little bit. So, you know, you said there's just something about this place. Mm-hmm. Maybe expand on that a little bit, and then how this place has been a part of your family and your growth.
Well, I do think that there was something we felt special when we came in here the first time. Mm-hmm. You know, it's been a long time since we did visit, but I mean, a lot of times we came in, we sat down, and we just felt like everybody was looking at us, but nobody really said anything. And I think there was something special about here that people were welcoming, and they seemed to genuinely care that we were here. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as Laura said, we weren't necessarily looking for something very specifically. We just felt like we were called to do something. We were parents, young parents, parents of a young child, and we knew that was important. And we just felt like this was the right place for us. And
I love how God knows the path, and He gives you that opportunity to enter into the path. And so at that time, it all kind of worked together. But I had left my job to be a stay-at-home parent. I had literally just asked Christ into my life at my work before I left. I worked there, I think, 6 years, and in the last 6 weeks, I had been at a Bible study, asked Christ into my life. I left work. It was just an odd, like, what do I do now? And so in church, I believe it was Judy Scoggins had gotten up and talked about disciple Bible study. So I thought, I'm going to try that. And so I did, and it was absolutely amazing. And I really kind of, it all started there, I guess. Right. The funny part about it, though, is I would come home and I was so excited. And I would tell Russ, just go on, and I was driving him crazy, I believe, until one day, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to hush and live my life. And I did. And I think it was the next year Russ came up to me, he said, you're different. And then we took Christian Believer together. And that was great with Judy White. Shout out to Judy. She was awesome. And then that was when the Lord started working on Russ as well. So we really kind of came here not really knowing. it's just so strange to look back and to know. But in that disciple class that I was in, I met lifelong friends, and my precious friend Reed Merritt was in there. He was a retired judge. Everybody knows the Merritt family. And at that time, at the end of disciple, we all know that we are to do a spiritual gifts survey, and then we talk about how you could use your spiritual gifts and how you could use yours. And I remember we were talking about spiritual gifts, and I didn't really like mine. I didn't understand how that worked. I wanted to trade them in. But then Reed Merritt said, you know what, my wife Lee volunteers at the Lawrenceville Co-op. I think you should go. And I said, no, that's not for me. And about 6 months later, I did finally go. And it just the cooperative ministry has been just a part of my life, a part of our life. Right. You don't really serve in that role by yourself. It's a family affair. And so now I serve at the Southeast Gwinnett Cooperative Ministry, which is kind of fun because this church supports the Lawrenceville Co-op and kindly helps us out too. But it's kind of neat to be here and to not kind of be under the radar, but just to be able to come here and worship and just get filled up and then go pour ourselves out for the community where we live.
Talk to me about that process, going from I showed up at the Lawrenceville Co-op and served, and now you're in charge of the Southeast Gwinnett Co-op.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't see that coming. So I guess I'd been there about 7 years, and the director at the Southeast Co-op had left for family reasons, and we were just getting slammed, and we were praying every day, Lord, show us, who can there's a gap in the community, and at that time too, the Southeast Co-op had closed its doors for a while. It was just struggling, and so I remember going to in one day to serve, and Linda Friend, who was the director at the time, she goes, the Lord has shown me who's supposed to go to the Southeast Co-op, and I'm excited because, our phone's ringing off the hook, and we're just overwhelmed trying to pick up that slack. And she said, well, you're supposed to go. And I cried, and I didn't want to go, and I'm like, I'm not going. And I said, I'm going to go home and talk to my husband, and he's going to say, no, you can't do that. But what did you say?
I can't remember exactly, but I certainly supported it. It's just, I guess I really hadn't seen that side of Laura that much, but, just the whole process of her, going through disciple, counting money at the church, going to the Lawrenceville Co-op. It was a journey. And, the longer I am on this journey, I realize that the journey is what it's all about, and just, how you change through different phases of this. And I think if you ever stop changing or stop growing, you die. So, I think there's been, periods of us not growing as much and getting a little stagnant, and then things happening to get us back on track. And, just things happening external to the church. Like COVID. Just, in 9/11, I think 9/11 was a big, us coming to this church because we didn't know what else to do. And just, and to me, that's,
Amen.
Things like that is the important things that, I think about having a church. And I just worry about people that don't have a place when everything else seems like it's falling apart around you.
So we are talking about kind of the idea of stewardship, and I've seen you guys steward so well this gift of the co-op and just your family and the people that you are in relationship with. But you have so many incredible people from this church and from the community at large who are involved in some special things. Maybe just share a couple stories about how you see people giving of themselves through that ministry.
Oh, well, goodness, I like to think of the co-op. The co-op is kind of like salvation. It's not the destination, it's the starting point. So if we serve well and create an environment where people, I don't have to convince you that you're important. I don't have to convince you that I love you. If I start from that point, and we like to say too, you know, if you buy an old piece of furniture or if you're going to paint a wall, the first thing you do so the paint will stick is you sand off the old paint. Love sands down the surface and makes it smooth. Now things can stick.
And that's stewardship. That's looking at what God has given us, put in our hands, and just being open-handed with it. Whether it's, you know, I know how to work on a bus, or I know how to talk to people and get them excited about an idea. Like we're just stewarding the things that God has given us.
And he puts us all together. It's so cool. I mean, if we'll just say yes, it's so much fun. And it takes pressure off. Like with these racial gatherings, Alan Hoskins said something that freed me like I've never been freed before, because I worried over every detail. And really, it's Trenton, Dockery, and Alan that once we get there, they put it together and we move forward. And Alan said to me, Laura, I feel like the Lord's asking me to tell you, your job is to set the table. And I'm like, oh, that takes so much pressure. My job is to set the table. I don't have to serve the food. That's what their job is, you know, because I have the opportunity to set the table because I'm involved at the co-op. So, you know, if you're supposed to set the table, set the table. But at least I don't have to clean up the dishes. Okay.
Got somebody to do that.
Yes.
That's Russ. Russ cleans up the dishes. He's so nice. So.
Well, any final things that you'd like to say to all your friends here at Lawrenceville?
We love all our friends here at Lawrenceville. Am I supposed to be looking at you or there? Okay, we love all our friends at Lawrenceville. Russ, do we love all of them?
Do.
All of them. Maybe a few on the edge, but no, really, not really. We love all of them. We love all of them.